It's our time to shine. Show that's the kind of state of mind you gotta combine with hard work and time. You gotta climb to the top. Don't let yourself drop till your heart stops. Let this beat rock. Got a new clock and a new stock for this new rock. Just let your mind loose from the new stock. Drunk off the goose, thinking that I'm too pop. Getting caught with a few thoughts cause I'm too lost. Off the speakers can't even handle me. Give it what I got, nobody's gonna drain my energy. And I will never stop, I'm motivated by enemies. Setting up shop so everybody remember me. And no, I am not going through life regretfully. I'd rather work non-stop, what they call incessantly, than work some odd job just to live life pleasantly. Already got lost in my mind, not a fantasy. I'm getting there. Forgotten soul, so stop, drop, and roll. You lost all control and pop off your ball. I got squat, I fall. I'm not bought, I'm sold. My stock rocks, it's gold. Hey, knock, knock, she holding shit. Talk to close. I ain't stopping though. It's hip hop, you know, or is it rock and roll? I'm not dropping down. No, my pocket's grown. You can't stop the show, so get rockin' on. So let me break it all down for you. I ain't never giving up. I ain't never giving up. Taking that crown from you. I ain't worried about you. So let me break it all down for you. I ain't never giving up.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're live once again from right here in Honolulu, Hawaii for Nemesis 4.26. We're just 1 week away from the Nemesis Super Show. And Jay Scott, are you ready for the action that we've got here tonight?
I'm tremendously excited. A lot of what we see here is going to have long-lasting repercussions, stuff that'll affect the way the Super Show looks next week, and I am very excited to see exactly how it goes down. And starting out, we've got Alexander versus FJA. Two people, I would say you both employ a lot of unpredictable offense, and that is exactly what we're looking at here tonight. A night of unpredictable action, starting off with these two super athletes.
Now, let's be perfectly honest. Alexander is on a road to finding the best Nemesis team. And with Battle Lines only being 5 weeks away, well, FGA could very well be looking at a golden ticket to finding himself on that Battle Lines team. But let's see if Alexander thinks he's got what it takes.
The following match is the opening match of Nemesis. Introducing first, weighing 245 pounds, from New York City, General Nemesis, Alexander.
Jay, correct me if I'm wrong. Is that Ken Warlock with Alexander?
You know what? I had to rub my eyes and blink a couple times to make sure I wasn't seeing things, but that very well does seem to be the leader of the Fatal Vices.
All right, normally you have your ground ear people ready to go, but did you hear anything about this?
So, I gotta admit, I might have to make a couple of cuts on my ear to the ground team because they did not inform me of any of this. I'm very disappointed, quite frankly.
And his opponent, weighing 200 pounds, from Buenos Aires, Argentina, FJA.
And now here comes FJA. I gotta say, I have a lot of respect for this individual. He knows what he's doing. He actually beat me. I don't know if you know that. Not a lot of people can say that, but he has in fact beat me in the CWL ring.
I mean, a victory over you is definitely a good victory, if I do say so myself, Jay Scott, because let's be honest, you are a wonderful competitor, even though you do talk our ear off a little bit from time to time. But FJA, honestly, a very good competitor here inside the CWL, a former #1 contender for the Nemesis Championship. And honestly, I think if Alexander really does have his head on straight here tonight, I think he should pick up FJA for Team Nemesis.
I gotta say, that would be a very interesting development. That would be a serious shift in the cards, and it would definitely send Vindication scrambling, as they would definitely be trying to look to find a suitable replacement or a suitable equal, someone that can take down a competitor like FJA. And these two are about to go one-on-one, head-to-head, as FJ starts it out huge with that flipping head kick. And now Alexander just leveling it with that lariat. My goodness, I gotta say, when it comes to showing FJA that he's ready to fire back, a big lariat to the chest, a meaty lariat, if you will, is just the way to do it. But FJA fired back with that Poison Rana, and now, oh my god, Alexander turning it around, Frankensteiner.
And now this is actually going to be a very interesting contest, if we're being perfectly honest, because now, I mean, it was going to be a good match to begin with, but what does Warlock bring to the table? He's watching intently. He accompanied Alexander to the ring. Do you think maybe this is what Warlock was talking about last week?
You know, now that you mention it, the pieces seem to be falling into place. It could very well be the case that Warlock's, I would say, murky threats, obscured predictions could, you know, they could very well be the thing. This could be what he was hinting towards, maybe a partnership with Alexander. Do you think that we could see Alexander as a member of the Fatal Vices? It's a very strange sentence to say.
I don't know. I don't know about that. Maybe I don't know. I think it has more to do with Alexander more than anything, if we're being honest. He has been scouting. Maybe he has Warlock out here to tell him, look what I can do and why you should join Team Nemesis.
That, you know what? I think I'm going to go with you on that, Mr. Chairman. It's not very often that I say that, but you know what? He is looking to win people over. He is looking to make an impact. And if he has Warlock watching, showing what he can do to someone like FJA, that could very well be the tool to winning over the leader of the Fatal Vices.
And look at that. I think Alexander's doing a good job so far of proving himself as a possible, or not a possible, but rather the team captain for Team Nemesis here as he starts working the leg of FJA. Very smart idea, because if FJA doesn't have those legs to fall back on, then a lot of his offense is taken out. He does a lot of springboard maneuvers, a lot of high-risk maneuvers, and a drop kick like that.
He has been taking that offense to the leg. Alexander's been very focused in what he's targeting, but FJA has been firing right back with offense like those huge drop kicks, but now Alexander has him hooked up. Yorktown facebuster, planting him flat on the mat.
A good Yorktown facebuster right there could have actually sealed the deal right there, as the pinfall to FJA as Alexander locked eyes with Warlock, but it wasn't enough as FJA kicked out at the 2.
Here he goes. Boom! Uppercut right to the jaw of Alexander. He has to be careful if he wants to secure himself a victory. Oh, look at that. Shots, determined shots, right to the stomach of FJA. Turns around. The Revolution! The Revolution, that could very well be the end of this matchup.
And it's not going to be it, as Alexander's picked up a victory. Look at that. After one Revolution, Alexander walks away victorious here against FJA.
I gotta say, I was relatively surprised with, I would say, the ease that he picked up that victory, considering how resilient we've seen FJA be in the past. But that was very impressive. Congratulations to Alexander on that hard-fought victory. General Nemesis, I salute you.
The winner of the match, General Nemesis, Alexander.
You know, Alexander there did somewhat quick work of FJA, but Jay, the question still remains. What does Warlock have to do? And look at him. I've never seen Warlock so animated in the background.
I'm asking myself those same questions, and I think all will be revealed in time. As we approach battle lines, I think the picture will start to get clearer and clearer. And now, speaking of things that got clear, I mean, the hatred between Selena Adams and Valkyrie went completely masked off last week, completely revealed, laid out bare in the open, and I think she has some words to say about it here tonight.
You know, it was actually something very interesting that we did see last week. I have never seen Selena so heated before, and honestly, I didn't expect Valkyrie to have that in her either. But those two just went at each other's throats throughout the entire show. And well, again, like you said, Selena's got a few words to say. Let's go ahead and hear her out.
mean, that was an emphatic statement. For those of you who are uncultured, for those of you who never took a Norse studies class in college, unlike I did, you know, I don't know if you know this, but I did go to Harvard and I did take one class of Norse studies. I learned Ragnarok is what they call the apocalypse in Norse culture. You know that?
I mean, I believe it's probably the one Norse thing that everybody knows there, Jay. But regardless, Selena Adams has promised to bring absolute destruction with her next week against Valkyrie. And here we go. The next contest is going to be Cassidy Clark versus Olivia Bodum. Honestly, a matchup that is going to be very, very heated.
Absolutely. I mean, Cassidy Clark, I would describe her as the consummate professional wrestler. And Olivia Bodum is like a uncoupled steam train. I mean, she just has so much power.
The following match is set for one fall. Introducing first, weighing 155 pounds, from London, England, Cassidy Clark.
Now, Jay, we have heard that Cassidy Clark is actually training Callie Kaplan, so that is why she asked for this matchup here against Olivia Bodum. Now, this could have actually been the championship match sooner rather than later, but unfortunately, things didn't fall that way. Cassidy Clark versus Olivia Bodum is a high marquee match, and I can't wait for the bell to ring. This is going to be fantastic.
And her opponent, representing Fatal Vices, the Sin of Wrath, Olivia Bodum.
And Olivia Bodum ready to make her way into the ring. I would say ever since she got her head shaved at the hands of Selena Adams, not directly at the hands of Selena Adams, of course. She's had this new fire, this new aggression. You know, she is normally very wrathful, but I would say that's been dialed up to 11 as of late, and I think she's absolutely going to destroy Cassidy Clark here in this wrestling match.
I don't think that's far from being the truth here, if I'm being honest, Jay. Cassidy Clark has not been having that great of a luck lately, not only losing the championship, but then also losing to Valkyrie at Global Warning. This could be her bounce back, but Olivia Bodum is no easy task whenever you're across the ring from her.
And look at that, just leveling her with the clothesline. Extremely impressive that Cassidy Clark was able to roll out of the way of that stop. Tossing her into the ropes. Ducks down. Oh my goodness, knee right to the gut. Sends Olivia Bodum just toppling. And now Cassidy Clark taking a moment to pat herself on the back for that achievement. But she doesn't have much time to celebrate as Olivia Bodum clocks her in the head with that forearm strike.
Now, let's talk about this here really quick, Jay. We know that Callie Kaplan is going to be in action later today in a handicap match because that was what Cassidy Clark told her that she had to go out there and do. Do you think Callie Kaplan is actually watching this matchup, or do you think she's getting ready for her own later on in the night?
I gotta say, I'm thinking about it. I'm crunching the numbers in my head. As you know, I'm very intellectual. I'm very intelligent, and so it's difficult when you have all this brain, all this capability to devote it all to one topic like this. And I gotta say, I think she probably is paying attention to this match and perhaps even warming up at the same time. As we know, she is the time bender. She can really she has a lot of breathing room in terms of deadlines.
That's entirely fair. I personally, I think that she is watching this matchup. She wants to see how Cassidy Clark will do, and maybe she can learn a thing or two, because later on in the night in a handicap match, it's possible to win. But honestly, you got to have the strength of 10 people to be able to walk out of a match like that with a win.
I don't know if Cassidy Clark intends for her new protege to get the victory. I think it might be more of a training exercise on how to take punishment.
Could very well be, as these two women get right back into the ring. No 20 count for them. Oh, look at that. A beautiful belly-to-belly suplex by Olivia Bodum as she now kicks Cassidy Clark over. And look at that. A dragon sleeper locked in. This could be all she wrote for Cassidy Clark. We know that she's susceptible to submissions. Oh, but Cassidy Clark able to roll through for Olivia Bodum.
And now with that charge into the corner, following up with that enziguri, tapping her on the side of the temple there, could knock her clean out. But no, she follows up with the R-Drag, but Olivia Bodum right back up as well. Turns it around, Sling Blade.
And now Olivia Bodum getting fired up here. Look at that, a big roundhouse kick with her right leg. Flips her over, and a swinging neck breaker, an arm trap neck breaker there. Olivia Bodum is not going to go down easy for Cassidy Clark, and we did not expect that at all.
And now kick right to the jaw, turns it around. Oh my goodness, just wrenching on the wrist there, and now picking her up. Oh, bending back the fingers. You could snap a couple of those if you're not careful, or perhaps that's exactly her intention.
We know that she is the Sin of Wrath for a reason. She's going to keep bringing the fight over and over again, but that jawbreaker may have completely halted all of the momentum as, oh my god, I thought we were going to see a back suplex, but instead Olivia Bodum counters, and these two are just having answers upon answers for each other.
Absolutely, and now turns it around, got the DDT, boom! Just smashing the top of her head against the solid steel of our ring apron. Can you believe that, Mr. Chairman? What a devastating amount of punishment that must have dealt.
I believe so too. This has just been a non-stop back and forth contest between these two. And honestly, again, I mentioned that this could have been a title match maybe like a month or two ago, and they're just showing us a completely different side to themselves.
I agree, and now she's ready for something big. She is really going for... I think she's going to pull out all the stops right here and try to put Olivia Bodum down for good.
Look at that.
Hooked up. Boom! We all know what that is. That's the Devil's Lullaby, and now she's looking for something even bigger.
She could be setting up for it here.
There she goes. She's got the Black Widow locked in, wrenching on the arm. Could this be it for Olivia Bodum?
And
She
Olivia
taps out.
Bodum taps out to Cassidy Clark. The Black Widow once again picks up the victory for Cassidy Clark. And what a victory it was over the Sin of Wrath.
The winner of the match, Cassidy Clark.
Congratulations to Cassidy Clark as she's able to pick up a victory there. But now the question lies, is Callie Kaplan going to be able to do the same later on in the night when she's got that handicap match? Maybe she picked up a thing or two. But Jay, let's be honest. Up next, what is this monstrosity?
Right. Sorry, Mr. Chairman, are you telling me you don't know? That's the POG Championship. That's one of the most prestigious titles in all of professional wrestling. Do you know who that title's been held by?
No, Jay, please enlighten me.
Once again, you show your ignorance, Mr. Chairman. That title has been held by the legends, all right? I'm talking about Antonio Inoki. I'm talking about Andre the Giant. And I'm talking about one of the greatest of all time, Kurt Hawkins, all right? This is... When you talk about prestigious championships, all right, if you Google prestigious professional wrestling championships, a picture of that beautiful title belt pops up. Look at how beautiful it is, all right? Look at the attention to detail. Look at the intricacy. Look at the colors. It all complements each other. TJ Black, he is the newest POG champ, and he is... I mean, I can't think of a more deserving champion. I can't think of a more deserving person to be holding the most prestigious title possibly in the whole world.
Jay, okay, first of all, where did he win this championship from? And second of all, why does he have it here? This is not a CWL championship. This is not a recognized accolade here in the CWL. So what is TJ Black doing parading around with it?
Here is why, all right? I am the street whisperer, all right? I've been whispering to the streets, and the streets have been whispering right back to me. And he has won this title. Well, let's not get into the exact how or why it happened. Let's just all agree that it did happen, and it was fair, and it was a real wrestling match that did occur. And now he's the POG champ. So you're welcome. You're welcome for that.
Okay, is this because he's still mad that he lost to a dinosaur at Global Warning?
Well, you know what? Maybe he'll say it himself, all right? I don't want to put words in his mouth. All I can say as an observer to the situation, is that he is the Pog champ. He deserves it. And that's a beautiful, beautiful title belt. That's all I can say. That's all I can add to this current situation, Mr. Trimmon. What more do you want from me?
I mean, I don't know, but as he handed over the championship over here to our ringside announcer, now he's grabbing a microphone. And thank you, TJ Black. Please give us some clarity. Okay, hold on. Back up, TJ. Are you really telling me that the Twitch Championship, which has been an incredible accolade to win here in the CWL, no longer matters because you think that the POC Championship is all of a sudden the new championship that we should be striving for?
Now, look, I respect the legacy of the Twitch Championship, all right? I'm a big advocate of it. I think it's one of the most incredible belts in all of professional wrestling, all right? And so I would say I agree with 50% of what TJ Black just said, but you cannot discount the pure prestige. I would say our whole promotion has been elevated now that the POG Championship has been introduced.
Regardless of what you think there, Jay, let's move on here with another contest. The returning Jessica Scarberry is going to be taking on Haley Hudson. And honestly, Scarberry shocked the world last week whenever she came back and used some teleportation powers, if you will.
The following match is set for one fall. Introducing first, representing Fatal Vices from Salem, Oregon, weighing 154 pounds, the Sting of Pride, Jessica Scarberry.
You know, I mentioned teleportation powers, Jay, but there's really no other way to explain it. 1 second she's here, the other she's there, the lights just go out, and everything is just chaos.
This is the power unlocked by some members of the Fatal Vices, all right? They can manipulate the corporeal world to their whims. And, you know, Jessica Scarberry and I have had our run-ins. We frequent some of the same circles. I think she tried to gain access to my country club. I don't think she was successful. I haven't seen her walking around, especially in the VIP areas. But, you know, she is prestigious. She is very wealthy. And she has unlocked some whole new dimension of abilities.
And her opponent, weighing 154 pounds, from Arlington, Texas, the Hammer, Haley Hudson.
And here comes the Hammer, Haley Hudson, and, you know, I think her aspirations of getting a victory tonight may be squashed by one of the most dangerous members of the Nemesis roster, Jessica Scarberry. I mean, I think she's going to cut Haley Hudson in half with one of her spears.
And quite frankly, I would agree. I think that Jessica Scarberry is absolutely 100% one of the most dangerous individuals on the Nemesis roster. And with her newfound powers and her newfound confidence, I think Haley Hudson is in some trouble here tonight.
I completely agree. I mean, look, Jessica Scarberry, she's wealthy. She's rich. She's called the Sin of Pride, all right? But can you think of anyone who deserves to be as proud of themselves as she is? She's accomplished so much. She was an orchestra member at the age of 10, all right? I happen to know a very accomplished viola player, and she has personally informed me about how hard it is to get into an orchestra, you know, when you have decades of experience, much less just 10.
I mean, that does sound very, very impressive for sure. And honestly, that kind of talent has followed Jessica Scarberry throughout her entire life. She made waves as soon as she arrived here in the CWL, and already to her name, before she even had 5 matches here in the CWL, she became the women's tag team champion alongside Casey Sabin. So I don't know, maybe more fortune is going to be following Jessica Scarberry here, especially if she does capture victory here over Haley Hudson.
And that would be very interesting to see, especially considering the track record that she's had of late since joining the Fatal Vices. Could this be the thing that kind of elevates her to, I don't want to say it, but perhaps even gets her started on the road to the Nemesis Women's Championship?
Very well could be, but we know that the woman that is at the top of the mountain right now is Jada King, and that is going to be no easy feat defeating somebody like her, because she hasn't been defeated at all. She lost in a tag team match ever since she came up here to Nemesis, and now she's the current champion, and she's got Sheila with her now.
She does indeed. Alex Mercer, is building up his group. He's building up his roster, and it is very intimidating to see, 2 hulking figures like Jada King and Sheila, but I mean, I would say they definitely have some serious strength going on. But Jessica Scarberry, we see her right now, where we saw her earlier in this match, executing her signature technique and speed, and she's looking to do that again with Haley Hudson. But Hudson able to get out of it, and a clubbing blow to the back of Scarberry.
Oh, look at that! The roundhouse kick by Haley Hudson completely just popped Jessica Scarberry in the mouth. And now Haley Hudson's got Scarberry in trouble up on her shoulders and plants her right up on the turnbuckle. Haley Hudson about to pick up a victory, but no, Jessica Scarberry kicks out even before the 1.
Now got her up. What's she going for? Oh my goodness, she was looking for something huge there. But Jessica Scarberry had her seeing scars with that kick right to the side of the head.
Oh, and once again, Haley Hudson able to kick out Jessica Scarberry in pure disbelief. She can't believe that Haley Hudson is still fighting. And look at that. She just plants her face right there up to the mat. And now Jessica Scarberry possibly looking to give her one autograph right there.
And that knee just making crushing impact with the face, the nose. I mean, she could have a broken nose right there. That's what we're talking about. And the pain from that is something you can't recover from. And it's exactly what enabled Jessica Scarberry to score the victory in this matchup.
What an absolute win here for Scarberry as she returns and sends a statement to the rest of the Nemesis women's roster that she is looking for fortune. She is looking for gold. And if I'm Jada King or Catherine Love over on Vindication, I would watch my back if I were you.
The winner of the match, the Sin of Pride, Jessica Scarberry.
And now Jessica Scarberry celebrates her victory here once again as, hold on one second, that right there is Adisa's music. We know that Jessica Scarberry sent a message last week when she attacked Adisa with the chair. Maybe she's coming back out here for some retribution.
Could very well be the case. I mean, she's got to be fired up. When you get hit in the back with a chair like that, that is not something that you take lightly, all right? Adisa has got to be mad. I have heard her storming around the backstage area. I was preparing my notes for this, and what? The lights just went out. What? Adisa was just in the ring, and they switched places, and now Jessica Scarberry's at the top of the ramp? Are those her teleportation powers coming into effect once again?
How in the hell does Scarberry do that?
I don't understand what just happened at all. I'm very confused. But up next, we've got Callie Kaplan versus both Sheila and Jada King. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what we just saw. Did she really just teleport in front of our very eyes?
All I know is that the lights went out and then all of a sudden they just switched places. But, maybe somebody that can help us answer this question here is Callie Kaplan. She's about to come out here. She's about to do a handicap match against the current women's champion, Jada King and Sheila. We've been talking about them all night, and now we know that they're the ones fighting Callie Kaplan. But, Callie, answer our questions. How do you teleport?
following handicap match is set for one fall. Introducing first, weighing 146 pounds, from Norwich, England, Kaylee Kaplan.
Now, Callie Kaplan, I mean, look, she had a very difficult time on Genesis. She was not able to pick up a single win in her entire time there, but she fought hard, and as soon as she got up to the main roster, she was able to score a huge win. I believe it was on pay-per-view, in fact.
It was on the Global Warning pre-show, that's a fact. And what a victory it was, honestly. Callie Kaplan is here now on Nemesis, and she's looking to kickstart her career to new highs, if you will, because that victory meant so much to her. After getting 9 losses on Genesis, and then still having somebody believe in her to where she was given a Nemesis contract, and then showing everybody that she was capable of winning, that just goes to show that it's not about necessarily the wins and losses here. It's about what you bring to the table. It's about what you can do different than everybody else. And Callie Kaplan brings something completely different to the table that we've never seen before. And she's here to prove once again that she can get a victory, even if it's against the Nemesis champion and Sheila.
And her opponent, the team of your Nemesis Women's Champion, the Queen of Harlem, Jada King, and her tag team partners, Sheila.
And Jada King carrying that Nemesis Women's Championship with her. I mean, a victory isn't quite the right word for it. I would say a decimation of Quinn Edwards that enabled her to carry that title around with her as she's doing now.
I think you're right. Jada King has been an absolute joy to watch. She was one of the first people that we saw make the jump from Genesis over to Nemesis, and just her rise to stardom has been an absolute it's been crazy to see, if we're being perfectly honest.
And I feel like every time Sheila emerges from her locker room, the air gets sucked out of my lungs because she is such an imposing figure. Look at her right now. She is ready to inflict, pain isn't the right word. Once again, I am at a loss for words. She is going to really, I would say, show Callie Kaplan the error of her ways for allowing herself to be put in this match in the first place. Sheila's relentless. She's vicious. And I think along with Jada King, they might very well be unstoppable.
Now, let's dissect this a little bit further, shall we, Jay? We know that Jada King was unstoppable on her own. We know that Sheila can be unstoppable on her own. So when you put these two together, this is just an absolute force to be reckoned with. Why do you think Cassidy Clark put Callie Kaplan in this matchup as a challenge to train herself further?
I think, you know what, Callie Kaplan, she's been on the losing end quite a bit. She needs to learn how to take a beating and still get up. And I cannot think of anyone better to inflict that beating than the reigning Nemesis Women's Champion, Jada King, and her new partner, Sheila. And look, if by some miracle Callie Kaplan does get a victory here, can you imagine what a mark on her record that would be? Not only is it a victory, it is a victory against two of the best, one of whom is holding, in my opinion, one of the most prestigious championships anywhere.
and that's entirely fair. The Nemesis Women's Championship is by far one of the top, most prestigious championships that we have here in the CWL. And look at that, a swinging DDT right there, almost a tornado-style DDT by Jada King. Honestly, I don't know how long Callie Kaplan is going to last in this match. Sheila is just waiting to get into this matchup. If Sheila, I don't even think that Jada King needs to tag in Sheila, to be honest.
Absolutely. I mean, look at this. Just destroying her with these chops, nailing her with those clotheslines. She is electing to tag Sheila in. Perhaps Sheila really wants a piece of the action.
Look at that. A knee drop right there across the neck from Sheila to Callie Kaplan, going right for the pinfall. The referee right there, but only a 1 count. Callie Kaplan showing that she's not just going to give up easily. She's here to learn. She's here to show what she's made of. And honestly, a match against Jada King and Sheila, she's going to show us exactly what she's made of.
That's my question, all right? When you look at Jada King, you start to go down the roster and you think, who could possibly have a shot at taking that championship from her? And one of the only names that comes to mind is Sheila. Perhaps part of Alex Mercer's motivation for adding Sheila to his little group here was perhaps making it not in Sheila's interest to challenge for the Nemesis Women's Championship because it is held by another member of the same group. Do you think that he's just chosen Sheila to join in order to eliminate a potential threat to Jada King's title reign?
I think that could be a possibility, but I think Alex Mercer is smarter than that. He knows that Sheila is the big prospect right now, and he knows where the money goes. And if anything, Jay Scott, you know where the money goes as well. So I'm surprised that you didn't try and get Sheila to go to Starjammer LLC.
I gotta tell you something. I do know where the money goes. I perhaps know it. I would go so far as to say that I know it significantly more than Alex Mercer. All right? What I have created in Starjammer LLC is the perfect group. But as much as I would love to talk about that, I really can't because of the high-octane action that we have going on in the ring right now. Look at this. Jada King just picks her up and destroys her with that butterfly suplex. My goodness.
And you're right, the current Nemesis Women's Champion bringing the fight to Callie Kaplan. But look at that, a beautiful judo throw by Callie Kaplan. Now she's got Jada King up against the corner and just tosses her into the middle of the ring. Callie Kaplan showing a lot of power to her as she now goes for the pinfall, but the champion kicks out at 1.
Look at that, just nailing that kick right to the back. Now picks her up, kick to the gut. Hooking her up and just turning her around. Oh, she's got it locked in. That modified Kaplan mutilation.
But it's not going to be enough as Jada King is able to get out of it. That is actually how she picked up her victory at the Global Warning pre-show. But Jada King, the champion, not going to let it happen. As here we go once again, the layout.
Oh, could this be it? No! Oh my goodness! I thought that was it for sure, but Callie Kaplan able to kick out.
Now, the layout has been kicked out of before, but we know it's usually followed by the Harlem Heartache, like that right there. And that's going to be it. The current Nemesis Women's Champion has picked up another victory for herself and for Sheila.
The winners of the match, Jada King and Sheila.
And look at that. I mean, congratulations to both of these two. But you gotta say, Callie Kaplan took that like a champ. She absorbed so much punishment over the course of that match and continued kicking out.
I agree. I fully agree. But, you know, she showed a lot of heart. She showed a lot of warrior spirit. And you know who else shows a lot of warrior spirit? It's this man right here, John Spartacus, who is coming out here right now to talk about the events from last week. He wanted a few minutes to really put in perspective everything that happened, because last week was absolute madness. He was blindsided 2-on-1, and then Johnny Gemini came out of nowhere and helped out John Spartacus. That is not a partnership that I saw flourishing from last week, and honestly, I can't wait to see more of it.
Absolutely. I mean, it was intriguing, it was curious, and most importantly, it was thought-provoking. And while you might say those all mean the same thing, in my world, those are very different interpretations of a similar idea, all right? And John Spartacus, he is very deliberate in what he's going to do next, and I wonder how he's going to respond to this provocation from the Fatal Vices.
And look at that. He is getting ready to grab the microphone right there. Let's see what he's got to say. Whoa, hold on 1 second. That right there is Raymondo's music. He's coming out here right now, and he's going to confront John Spartacus. I can't believe Raymondo is actually going to respond to Spartacus. Jay, I can't believe that next week we're going to get John Spartacus versus Raymondo. That is honestly a match I never thought would happen, but it's happening.
That is, I mean, it is truly something that we are going to see these two go just completely at it one-on-one in the middle of that Nemesis ring. We're really getting treated to something next week.
And I mean, the Super Show is going to be amazing. It is only 1 week away. We know we're going to have the Nemesis Championship. We know that we're going to have John Spartacus versus Raymondo. But that's next week. This is this week. And look at that, Jay. Rodrigo Del Gaiso, possibly in the biggest match of his career against Alex Perez.
This is something that I have been excited for all night. This is without a doubt the match I'm most excited for. My business partner, Mr. Rodrigo Del Gaiso, without a doubt the most talented wrestler on all of Nemesis, is going to destroy Alex Perez tonight.
The following match is set for one fall. Introducing first, representing Starjammer LLC, weighing 215 pounds, from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Rodrigo Del Gaiso.
You know, Jay, I like giving you a lot of crap because I think you and I have a lot of difference of opinion, and that's okay. You know, everyone's going to disagree once in a while. But I'm going to be perfectly honest. I think that the money that Starjammer LLC is bringing into your faction is starting to show. Just look at how Rodrigo Del Gaiso looks out here. He looks like an absolute star.
He looks like an absolute star because he is an absolute star, all right? He is rocking what we like to call the drip, all right? That is Versace that he is wearing, all right? That's Italian. I don't know if you know that. He is decked out to the nines. He looks like a star, and he is going to show Mr. Perez exactly what it means to be a star in the ring.
And his opponent, weighing 225 pounds, from San Jose, USA, Alex Perez.
Now, we know Alex Perez has one thing in mind. He wants the Nemesis championship at all costs. It is the one championship that has eluded him his entire career here as being a Nemesis mainstay ever since we began the brand split 3 years ago. Now, Alex Perez has one goal in mind. He wants the championship, and he wants to do his best to win it at Battle Lines. Do you think that is possible here, Jay?
Do I think it's possible? I'll tell you something. I think it's impossible, because I think if he wants to go into Battle Lines and challenge for that championship, he's going to be so beaten up from this match that he's not even going to be able to step in the ring there. Rodrigo Del Gaiso is going to show him what it means to enter into the era of punishment, all right? And it's going to happen right here, right now. I mean, you can already see Rodrigo gearing up to deal up some serious damage to Mr. Perez.
I mean, regardless of, the punishment or not, Alex Perez has shown that he is just on a whole other level as of late. He won the Banff tournament over in Japan. He picked up an amazing victory over Brandon not just a few weeks ago. And he defeated John Spartacus just a few weeks ago here on Nemesis as well. I think that if Alex Perez can pull off a victory here today against Rodrigo Del Gaiso, it is undeniable that he could be next in line, and he could be getting that World Championship match that he wants at Battle Lines.
I mean, look, as much as I appreciate my faction member Rodrigo Del Gaiso, and I am certain that he's going to win this match, I cannot take away from Alex Perez that he is of the caliber to challenge for that World Championship. The problem is, so is Mr. Rodrigo Del Gaiso, and in fact, I would say especially more so. But Alex Perez starting it off huge with that Dragon Screw.
The Dragon Screw right there, definitely effective. We know that Rodrigo Del Gaiso uses all of his limbs as best as he can to really bring the fight to his opponents. He is very well versed in Muay Thai, in MMA as a whole, I should say. And Rodrigo Del Gaiso is going to be no easy feat here for Alex Perez to defeat.
And now, bringing over into the corner there. And Rodrigo Del Gaiso, nice shot right across the side of the head. Now picking him up. Alex Perez gets out of it.
Look at that, a swinging neck breaker by Alex Perez connects. And this match is going to be very telling of where Rodrigo Del Gaiso stands. We have seen him be in a lot of amazing matches since he started here this year. And look at that, Dragon Suplex. Beautiful form right there, but only a 1 count. As I was saying, Rodrigo Del Gaiso, I'm sorry, has been an amazing competitor here. He's got wins over Dr. Wrestling Jr. He's got wins against basically the top of the Nemesis roster here. Alex Perez could be just another name on that hit list as we progress through this matchup.
And let me tell you something, he's been getting attention, all right? He's not just getting these wins, he's getting eyes. He's getting eyes on this very show. I've had people contact me, all right? They want Rodrigo Del Gaiso to host a television show. They want to call it the Rodrigo Del Gaiso show. And I've had so many offers, I don't know who to go for.
Well, I mean, he's showing exactly why here is he's just twisting up Alex Perez left and right. Look at this beautiful triangle choke, but Alex Perez knows exactly how to get out of this. He is the Banff winner for a reason, ladies and gentlemen.
He can be as confident as he likes. It's all going to change when Rodrigo Del Gaiso puts his lights out with one of those devastating knee strikes that he likes to employ.
And now Del Gaiso sends Perez to the corner, misses with that dropkick as Perez moves out of the way, but a big roundhouse kick with the right leg, and now a beautiful DDT followed up. Rodrigo Del Gaiso is trying to build momentum, but Alex Perez is not allowing it, and look at that, returns the favor with a Dragon Suplex of his own.
And plants him there, absolutely crushing the back of his skull against the mat, but Rodrigo Del Gaiso, he is not, oh my god. Dragon Rush.
One Dragon Rush, possibly about to be followed up with a second one. No. And this is how we put away John Spartacus.
Rodrigo, you got to kick out. You got to kick out of this one. It's okay, buddy. You can do this. Come on. Oh, thank God. Rodrigo Del Gaiso kicks out of the Dragon Rush. It was no problem for him. It was easy. I don't even know if I saw the referee count to 1.
And look at that, Alex Perez knew that he has to keep fighting. He has to keep going. And now just completely snapping on Rodrigo Del Gaiso as much as he can. And flips him over, grabs the arm. And look at that. Now going to twist the other arm. Absolute, just trying to take the shoulder out of the socket.
Now, here we go. Up on the top here. Going for perhaps a moonsault, and Rodrigo unable to get out of the way of that one.
Absolutely beautiful form on that moonsault as Alex Perez just plants down, but Rodrigo Del Gaiso kicks out at 1.
Look, Alex Perez is a tremendous talent, but he is simply outclassed by who he's in the ring with. Del Gaiso is going to get the victory, and no matter how much Alex Perez fights in the early moments of this match, there's nothing that he can do about it. Got the headlock in, turns him around. He's got him on the ropes now. Kick to the gut. And now here we go. We all know what's coming next. Good night, senor.
A very brutal knee strike against the ropes there by Rodrigo Del Gaiso. As look, oh my God, I think he's setting up for something even bigger here.
Boom! Adios. That's it. Alex Perez's lights have been put out definitively. Good night, sir. Rodrigo Del Gaiso scores the victory. Well, hold on. I'm getting a text message from Matthew Ramirez. I'm not sorry, Mr. Chairman. I gotta go. I gotta go to the backstage area. This guy, it's like taking care of a child.
Wait, hold on. Jay. Dude, you're supposed to be professional. Why are you leaving to the backstage area? You can't keep doing this, Jay. But regardless, ladies and gentlemen, what a victory here by Rodrigo Del Gaiso. Absolutely just sending a message to the rest of the Nemesis division. We may have just found our next contender for the championship here, as a victory from Del Gaiso to Alex Perez. What an absolute matchup here.
The winner of the match, Rodrigo Del Gaiso.
Del Gaiso celebrating possibly the most momentous victory for himself as he picked up a win over Alex Perez. I'm absolutely shocked here. I'm going to be perfectly honest. But hold on 1 second. That's Jake Eagle. He's got a bat. Oh my God, he just drove it right through Rodrigo Del Gaiso's neck. Well, turnabout is fair play, and Jay Scott is not here to watch this assault. As Jake Eagle, where'd he come from? I thought he was in the hospital. I thought he wasn't medically cleared. His wife sent out a tweet throughout his own Twitter account, and now the Secret Service is locked in. He is just choking the life out of Rodrigo Del Gaiso in front of the bat, and the referee is just trying to do what he can to help Rodrigo Del Gaiso, but he can't. Jake Eagle finally lets it go. But what is Jake Eagle doing here? It looks like he's finally leaving the arena. The message has been sent. You're not going to do anything to Jake Eagle. Oh, hold on. He changed his mind. He wants more. Jake Eagle oh, look at that. Driving the elbow right to the back of the neck. And now some punches there for good measure. Rodrigo Del Gaiso just went through a grueling matchup here with Alex Perez. And Jake Eagle just does not care. And now just grabbing Rodrigo Del Gaiso. And now just twisting his body in an ungodly way as he drives the knee to the back of the neck. The referee is trying to help out where he can. But look at that. Rodrigo Del Gaiso just taps out. Even though this wasn't a matchup. Jake Eagle just came out of nowhere and obliterated Rodrigo Del Gaiso. Blindsided him. And got his revenge, if I'm being perfectly honest. I am absolutely beside myself right now. But ladies and gentlemen, we got a main event coming up here. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me get back into here. The main event here. We knew that it was going to be Connor Gates and Chris Edwards in a tag team match, but we didn't know who their tag team partners were going to be. And it looks like there's going to be gold everywhere. Drake Harrison and Connor Gates will team up against the POC champion and Chris Edwards.
The following match is the main event of Nemesis and is a tag team match. Introducing first, the team of your Nemesis Heavyweight Champion, Connor Gates, and his tag team partner, your Twitch champion, Drake Harrison.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the current Nemesis champion, but you know that the championship isn't around his waist only because Chris Edwards...
All right, move over, Mr. Chairman, move over. I'm back. I didn't see Rodrigo back there. What's going on? Anyway, Matthew Ramirez, he made it sound super urgent, but he just wanted me to help him pick between two outfits. It's ridiculous. All right, what did I miss? Anything happen?
You didn't see Jake Eagle just completely obliterate your client?
What? What are you talking about? What happened?
He came out with a bat and just completely blindsided him. Drove it through his neck.
Rest assured, I am gonna deal with this as soon as this show is over. But I will call this match because I'm a professional. Now here comes Drake Harrison with that Twitch championship. Hold on, I just need to send a text real quick.
All right, well, while he does that, ladies and gentlemen, he's right. This right here is the Twitch champion. And a lot of people are saying that it was controversial. But to them, I say, this is Drake Harrison. Even though he has a new persona, if you will, this is Drake Harrison, not Rex. No, this is Twitch champion, Drake Harrison right here.
Okay, I will get back to this, but let me just say, Jake Eagle, this is not over. What you have done will not be forgotten. And now, as we see Rex or Drake Harrison, or whatever you want to call him, holding up that Twitch championship, I'm very curious as to what exactly is going on here with Drake. Like, is he in his right mind? That's what I want to know.
I believe he is. I really do think he is. You know, we've started having a lot weirder things happen here in the CWL ever since the Kaiju battle over at Endgame, and this is just one of those things. But Jay, let's put this down on the field, shall we? We have a champion without a belt. We have a dinosaur with the Twitch championship. We have somebody that stole the Nemesis championship. And then we have somebody that claims to be a champion without a championship that has no lineage in CWL.
And their opponents, Chris Edwards, the Loaded Guy, TJ Black.
You know, there are certainly a lot of, I would describe it as shenanigans with those championship belts. Chris Edwards being one of the primary ones who, of course, stole that championship from Connor Gates at Global Warning, and he has been wearing it proudly ever since.
You know, he claims to be the uncrowned Nemesis champion. And next week he gets that opportunity whenever he faces off against Connor Gates to call himself the true Nemesis champion. But it's allegedly going to happen under Extreme Rules, or I should say, the challenge was thrown out. We haven't heard whether Chris Edwards is going to accept that or not yet, but Connor Gates says that he wants Extreme Rules. I think it's going to happen personally, and I also think that Chris Edwards is going to be giving that championship back to the rightful owner, Connor Gates, next week.
Well, you know, Connor Gates has said he is well known for his dabbling in hardcore, his dabbling in the extreme, but even if it is an Extreme Rules match, I think we all know that at the end of the day, it's going to be Chris Edwards who deals that final blow. He's going to nail that Nightfall protocol and be truly crowned. Not just with the belt around his waist, but with the official title and everything. He will be the Nemesis Heavyweight Champion.
And look at this Joker again, bringing out this championship. Claims that this is the new lineage for the Twitch Championship. Claims that the Twitch Championship is forgotten. It's going to not be the true championship anymore. And personally, as the chairman of this company, I see that as complete disrespect for Drake Harrison and Rex.
This is, once again, you show your hand, Mr. Chairman. This is TJ Black. This is the Pog Champ. This is the Loaded Gun. This is the notorious POG, all right? And he is bringing that championship to the ring, and he is going to show why this is the title to talk about, not some silly Twitch championship, all right? Which I admit, is, sorry, I said silly Twitch Championship, is a serious Twitch Championship, but this is far more serious. This is the POG Championship.
Quite frankly, I don't believe anything that TJ Black says here. I think TJ Black is just throwing a fit. I think he's just throwing a tantrum, and he had an incredible reign as a Twitch champion. You're going to lose sometimes, and that's okay. That's the nature of the beast. That's how it happens. Some nights, somebody just has your number, and he needs to be okay with that. He had an incredible first half of the year just because he met somebody that finally had the best of him that night. He should be able to accept that. He's not a champion. This is a farce.
I mean, a farce? That's what you're stooping to, a farce, all right? This man, all right, he had to win that championship. He didn't just bring it out of nowhere. He had to win it. He had to win it in a wrestling match, and he beat someone for it. He beat someone, a wrestler.
Well, regardless whether he beats somebody or not, this is our main event here, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be stacked. This is 4 of the biggest names here on Nemesis, as Connor Gates and the Twitch champion Drake Harrison team up against Chris Edwards and TJ Black. And look at that. Connor Gates and Chris Edwards are the ones starting this matchup.
And here we go. These two who are going to be slugging it out next week for that Nemesis Heavyweight Championship are indeed meeting here first. As at first Connor gets the upper hand, but then Chris turns it around, gets the headlock in. Now he's got the key lock, wrenching on the arm. Oh my goodness, just tossing him down there, slamming his back against the ground.
And now Connor Gates meets him with a kick to the gut and a beautiful DDT right there. Now, who do you think this is going to favor next week going into the championship match? Who is going to be the one that gets the most out of starting this tag team matchup here?
I was thinking the same thing, and I got to say, whoever ends up winning this matchup is definitely going to have the momentum going in next week. And then while that does sound self-explanatory, what I mean is this is just a week away from a title match, all right? You don't get to heal all your injuries in a brief time like that, all right? These two are going to be going one-on-one next week, and they're going to inflict as much damage as they can on one another now, so that some of those injuries are still lagging going into next week's contest. And TJ Black looks like he's happy to help Chris Edwards as he levels Connor Gates with that European uppercut.
Hey, look at that, a jawbreaker from Connor Gates, and now meets him with a single leg drop kick right there to the self-proclaimed POG champion. TJ Black sweeps the leg, picks up Connor Gates, but another jawbreaker right there brings Connor Gates back into it, and another single leg drop kick. Connor Gates, the most determined Connor Gates we've ever seen before, but he gets met by a German suplex by TJ Black.
Absolutely, and now locking up, deadlift, power bomb, just smashing all the wind out of the lungs of Connor Gates. My goodness, when you have your shoulders planted on the mat like that, all right, it sends your skull rattling. I'm surprised that Connor Gates can still crawl to his feet, and it's going to be even harder after taking that knee to the side of the head.
Now look at that. Connor Gates manages to connect with a gut kick right there. And now he grabs TJ Black by the back of the neck. But TJ Black able to connect with some elbows to break free. And now TJ Black has got to try and get the momentum back here. But it looks like we're going to get a tag instead to the self-proclaimed Nemesis champion.
Here we go, double drop kick, absolutely demolishing him there. But look at that, Connor Gates able to make the tag out to Rex. Rex coming in huge, drop kick right to the chest of Chris Edwards. But Chris Edwards catches him with that Irish whip, tosses him into the corner. Oh, looks to get some sort of offense in, but Rex is able to get the knees up. Huge shoulder smash there, and looks for another drop kick, but it's blocked by Edwards. A punch, blocked by Rex. Drop kick, blocked by Edwards.
These two are just blocking everything that they've got coming at each other. But now here's the question here, Jay. Chris Edwards not only has a victory over TJ Black recently, but also over Drake Harrison. Do you think that's going to come into play here as, I guess now, Rex is taking the fight to Chris Edwards?
I gotta say, that is definitely something that I'm looking forward to finding out. Will he be able to maintain his advantage over Drake Harrison, or will Drake manage to adapt a little bit and get the edge over Edwards? That is exactly what we're going to find out in just a moment, but it looks like we've already got a hint of it after he was able to nail that foot DDT, and now it looks like he's looking for something bigger. But could TJ Black play a factor? No, it looks like he's not opting to disrupt this. Oh my goodness, the single bound absolutely knocking Chris Edwards almost out of his boots there.
The single bound, the pinfall broken up by TJ Black, as now Connor Gates enters the fight himself, and he tries to take out TJ Black, as TJ Black rolling out to the side. This is the prime opportunity for Connor Gates and Rex to try and pick up the victory here.
And here we go. Chris Edwards, arm breaker there over the shoulder. Got him hooked up. Turns it around. Omega driver, planting the head right onto the mat, compressing the neck, the spinal column, if you will, of Drake Harrison. And now firing up, catching him with the point of the elbow. Inverted atomic drop. Turns him around. Nice power slam there.
Now TJ Black back in the corner. Oh, look at that. A wheel kick from Chris Edwards completely lays out Rex. And now Chris Edwards could be looking for it. The uncrowned Nemesis champion has got it hooked in. Look at that. The Nightfall Protocol goes for the pinfall. But Connor Gates, ever the resilient tag team wrestler, knew exactly what he had to do. He bought time for Rex to be able to find it in him. And look at that. He kicked out. Connor Gates, a former tag team champion, knew exactly what to do here.
Distracted the referee for just long enough that Rex was able to regain some strength. But, oh my goodness. Chris Edwards went to look for that spinning elbow, but Rex just slapped it away and went for one of his own, went for a smack right on the chest. But now it looks like Edwards has a slight advantage. Picks him up. Brainbuster!
The brainbuster from out of nowhere from Chris Edwards, as now he goes for the tag. And this is the perfect spot for TJ Black. This is what he wants. He wanted a weakened Rex. And look at that. He just gets right on top and starts just brawling with Rex, trying to bust him open with those sharp elbows. Unable to do so.
PogChamp versus Twitch Champ in the center of the ring. Who is going to come out on top between these two? Will it be the quote fraud? I mean, look, TJ Black refers to him as a fraudulent champion. I'm not saying that's wrong, but I guess I can't say it's right either. Of Drake Harrison, or will it be the undisputed PogChamp in the form of TJ Black?
Very well could be. And now look at that. TJ Black again just showing the brutality that made him the Twitch champion at one point, and now I guess the Pog champion as well. Rex has been unable to answer back ever since the Nightfall Protocol from Chris Edwards. And now, oh, look at that. He's got it locked in. The Pyramid Scheme to Rex. The Pyramid Scheme to Rex. Oh my God.
And that is it.
Rex actually tapped out to the Pyramid Scheme. TJ Black, the Pog champion, picks up the victory here over the Twitch champion.
Was just wrenching on that elbow, wrenching on the shoulder, the wrist. It was too much for Rex to bear. He had to tap out when locked in a devastating submission maneuver like the Pyramid Scheme.
And as I mentioned, that Nightfall Protocol right there that we're seeing in the replay was really the beginning of the end, as Rex never truly recovered from that. But the Pyramid Scheme was what did it at the end, and TJ Black just picked up a victory over Drake Harrison. That has got to feel good for TJ Black.
The winners of the main event, the team of Chris Edwards, the Loaded Gun, TJ Black.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a crazy night we had here for you today in Nemesis. But what does this mean for the Super Show? Because that's going to go down next week right here. We will see you then, where we're going to have Connor Gates versus Chris Edwards for the Nemesis Championship.